So we got Liam Horne. Welcome.
What's up? Thank you for having me.
So I want to take it back to the very beginning. My publicist told me that you grew up in a caravan, a gypsy caravan. Is that right?
Yep, I'm from Aberdeen, Scotland. My family, we're gypsy travelers. We grew up in that lifestyle and all around, not just caravan, but around music, family, and love and all that.
That's what it's all about. It's all love.
Yeah.
And what did you take in musically when you were in that environment? Was there obviously there's the Scottish scene, there's bands from all around Europe, Ireland, England. Did you take in those bands as well as American bands too?
Of course. My influences came from both my mom and dad. You know, my mom's an incredible singer, and my dad's just an amazing lover of music. And through my mom, I got the soul side of it. I would get the Luther Vandross to the Simply Reds to
Great stuff.
and then from my dad, I'd get the Nirvana, the NXS, the U2, the rock, the indie. So I was really just growing up with both of them, and they really influenced a lot of my music. Now, you could probably tell in some of my songs, I tend to blend genres. I like to go from R&B, pop with a little rock, and maybe even some hip hop drums just to keep it bouncy. But it's all a mixture of what I grew up listening to through my parents.
It's really awesome, man. And yeah, we'll get more into your music a little bit. I really like your approach that you do. Um, to get back into the more of your background, you grew up in Aberdeen, Scotland. Is that right?
Aberdeen, Scotland, the Granite City. It's called the Granite City because all the buildings are made out of granite and it sparkles in the sun. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And what do you enjoy about Aberdeen, Scotland? And conversely, um, what made you ultimately decide to move to LA?
I I love everything about Scotland, down from the people to the food to the weather to the castles and the greenery. I just love it all. It's such a beautiful place, and culturally, it's very beautiful. And you know, I came here very young. I was 12 when I came here for the first time to do music. I was flown out by producers, and it was just such a huge culture shock for me to come out here. It's very different. It's night and day. The sun's out, and I fell in love with LA. But I was very lucky to come out here young and be in the studio young. The producers who flew me out were actually very, very successful producers. They wrote Korn, Coming Undone, Twisted Transistor, and also Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy, Complicated,
The
down
classics.
down to Shakira, Ricky Martin, everyone they've worked with. They're just incredible legends in the music industry. And they flew me out, and I was in the studio young with them, really being mentored and brought up and taught how to write. And it was just surreal because Scotland is the UK and then it's America. Like Los Angeles in its own is so big. Like my population of Scotland is like 5 million. So it was all around just a big change.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that, and especially like being a kid. You were a kid, and not only that, but in this production and music and professional environment, super young. I can imagine, along with the culture shock that you felt when you moved to LA, that you were just like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Like you were mentioning, all the classics that you grew up listening to and all the producers that you ended up meeting, there was like this
It
is
was
like a gold mine. Like
incredible.
how were you introduced to that environment very young? How did all these producers kind of find out what you were doing?
So, like I said, I was found in Scotland, Aberdeen. My great uncle is Ray Edwards from the Matrix production company. That's the producers who I was just telling you about who wrote all those songs. He came back to Scotland to visit, and there was little me running around singing songs and just being crazy. And
Oh,
he goes,
so it was a family like connection kind of thing?
yeah. And
Oh,
he
okay.
goes, well, let me take you out here. Let me fly you out, see how it goes. You're young, but let's just have fun and see what happens. So he took me out, and I went into a studio for the first time, and I was so small, I had to stand on the microphone box just to
Oh
reach
man.
the microphone. And I'm singing in there, and they said, "Yo, we could really do something with this. Let's push it." And they really opened the doors for me to meet other producers, other people, other singers, and it wasn't until another, gosh, 4 years after that that I ended up writing and got that in front of Justin Bieber through another producer. So through the Matrix, I got my doors opened.
Right. So the Matrix introduced you to the connections you know now, and you kind of answered the next transition that I was going to go in. Being able to write for Justin Bieber, obviously that connection came from, was it from producer to producer, and then you were relayed this information, or were you in direct contact with him?
Oh, that's a brilliant question. So this is kind of interesting how it happened. So I wasn't a songwriter until I wrote for Justin Bieber.
Oh wow, okay.
I was writing my songs, and I was constantly writing. And I just thought everyone, writes their songs. And I got a little bit older, and I around 13, 14, I started realizing, okay, people have songwriters, people have other people come in, write sometimes, and people collaborate. And I started learning the music industry. At 15, turning 16, I worked with a producer named Sounds. We wrote this song called Out of Town Girl for myself. He did the track, and I penned these lyrics, and we initially had this song for me. I was going to drop it, I was going to release it.
Under
Sounds,
your own name, right?
Liam Horne. I was working as an artist, and Sounds, the producer, ended up working with Justin Bieber. He's playing him some records, and he ends up playing him one of my records. Justin goes, "Oh, I really like that. How about I cut it?" And of course, I get told, and I'm a young kid at this point, so I know who Justin Bieber is, and I'm trying to come out as an artist myself. And
Yeah.
everywhere I go, every ice cream shop I walk into, every grocery store, because I'm young, hair, they go, Bieber, Bieber. So I was getting it constantly.
So you were
So
the Scottish. You were the Scottish.
I was just, So I was in my head. I'm like, how can I get away from this? I can't go through Justin Bieber because he's Justin Bieber. He's got
Yeah, the
eight,
association is just going to follow you around all the
he's
time.
got 8 to 14-year-olds who just faint when they see him. And
Right.
this is when he's fresh out. Everyone was, what the heck is this? And I was like, he's like a brick wall. Instead of
Yeah.
trying to go through it, why don't I stop, write a song for him, and say, okay, I'm gonna go round. So next time I get Bieber, it's like, I ain't Justin Bieber. I'm writing Justin Bieber songs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I tried to surpass, but by trying to do that, I learned about ego, and I said, wait a minute, I can drop my ego. It's not about surpassing or beating people. It's about working together, making connections, and all doing this together. It's like, this isn't my competitor over here. This is my player too. We're in this game together.
Yeah.
So you gotta. I learned that from working, but that's how that came around. And I was just not gonna say no to Justin Bieber recording one of my songs.
Keep in mind though, it's like in 2012, he blew up. I mean, he already had his whole like kind of false start with Baby. For all
Yeah.
intents and purposes, that was like disliked to all hell. But he really evolved, and in the same way, you were coming up too, and I think your real success that really blew you up was in 2015 when you did Black and White, and when
Yep.
you first got that big response, like especially being so young still, like how did you process that? What did you observe about how the song was being kind of reacted to?
I processed it very, very wrong.
Oh man.
Yeah, I took it, and I put the song out, and we got amazing response. And then of course, we got over 1 million, and people started expecting more songs and more things, and I didn't really have anything else ready to go and throw out.
Oh man, so that must did you feel like a lot of pressure? Like It
exactly
was
right.
just
I
like,
was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And of course I was in a relationship at the time which was doing a lot on me. Like when I got into a really toxic relationship, which I dropped everything for and was like, I'm focused on you. You're the greatest thing in the world. Let me forget this.
oh
And
man.
in the meantime, I've got a song out here doing amazing, and people are like, what can we get next? So I kind of went on a hiatus, didn't drop for a long time, and it wasn't until the past 2 years I was like, let me pick this back up. And I'm done with you. You can go away. Let me focus on my music. Let's get
Oh man.
and I gotta say, even that response from coming back, it was kind of like when I dropped Black and White, it was accepting and really breathtaking and fresh, a breath of fresh air, So I'm very lucky with the responses I get, especially for Black and White. It was just a blessing. But I wish I handled it better and kept with consistency.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that must have been like really hard. You're going through this, everything, even um, a few years passing by isn't scant. It's not insignificant at all. You're going through this major relationship, plus you're like in the process of really kind of coming to your own as an artist. I mean, like not to like reopen it, but about that like contentious situation, but was it kind of where your was your head, so you said it was like kind of the wrong response, was your head kind of focused too much in the relationship and then the music was kind of in the background and it was difficult to like
100%.
balance each thing?
100%. You put it right on the head. That was it was not just difficult to balance. I personally couldn't. I failed to
So
balance.
you like kind of sabotaged your own like chances of not success, but just staying in the game.
Yeah, 100%. And what's worse is, the person I was with, I can't blame them really because they
Yeah,
pushed me. They really pushed me and was on me and was like, "Yo, I'm here to help you. I'll post you. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want." And but you got to understand, I came out here. I was young. I was 17, turning 18 when I met them.
wow.
I just wrote for Bieber. I just dropped Black and White, and I had no parent. My parents are still not out here. I have no blood relatives here right now with me. I'm out here by myself. I was very young out here, and I didn't really have that guidance. So when I met this person who had that security and guidance, I
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
kind of like held on to that and was so obsessed with not losing it that I was putting my music on a back pedal, and I was just so sure this was going to happen, that this is not what I want anymore out of life. I want this and a family and all this, and it really like just blinded me, and I wasn't making the best decisions on life at that time anyway. I was doing a lot of wrong stuff. I was doing some drugs. I was on Xanax. I was on some cocaine. I was doing,
Was
and
all that stuff like available to you? Just
yeah,
like
because
the
I just jumped
access with
into
just because of the people you had around you, right?
yeah, I just jumped into a studio full of rappers and producers and all this and all that.
And they were
And
like, "Hey kid, let me hook you up with like this illegal drug, that illegal drug,
exactly
all
right.
that."
And that's exactly right. And I have a manager now, Rich Skills, who I've been with for 10 years. He
That's
was
awesome.
he was the one person I met back then who really little brothered me. And he would say to them, "You don't give him shit. If I catch anyone giving it, he doesn't get nothing. If I catch anyone giving him anything, I'm gonna go the fuck off. He gets nothing." And he would really like call me and say, "I'm coming to check on you right now. I'm coming to be there. Right? You better not be, you better be, I really
Yeah.
had him as my goal. And
Focus on those songs.
exactly. So basically, he was like, "Listen, we got to get this, and you're losing yourself." And I'm Scottish. I love William Wallace. I use my Scottish. And I'm like, "Listen, this is a pill in a little baggie. I'm not going to let these things control me. These can buy." So I was like,
Hell
"Go,
no.
see you later." And then 9 years went, 8 years go by, and I'm clean. I haven't touched. No, I don't even drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do shit. I just focus on my music. And
Music,
I
man.
gotta say, the last 8 years, I've done more for myself than I did for the first like 5, 6, 7 working on music. And it was just distractions. That's an artist's biggest problem is distractions. And thank God it happened to me before I was rich and successful. If I even get rich and successful, it's not a guarantee for anyone. But those people who get it and then go through that phase is very hard. So I'm just glad I got all that out of my system. I managed to find my path. I'm focused and I'm still accepted by my audience, and it's like and it's just you can't ask for that, if they wanted to just give me 10 views and move on, I would be completely understanding. I'd still make my songs and put them out, because you got to do it for the love and you got to have a straight head.
In reorienting yourself, regaining your focus, what can you say about your new batch of songs that you're creating now? You have a single out now. This is All on Me. Is that kind of related to that batch of songs, or is that completely separate?
No, these are all completely separate. So my manager, like I said, I've been with 10 years. I was going through my little crazy teenage LA Hollywood phase, and he kind of came in and was like, all right, I'm whipping you up the ass. We're coming out of this. Let's go. We're getting this records together. And we really like just focused in. That's when I got clean. We focused in and we have hundreds of songs, but
100.
we have like 30 solid ones that we really believe in and care,
So you can have like enough albums to basically outlast you.
So you know what happened, right? I
Right.
dropped Black and White, and they said,
Yeah.
"Okay, what else you got?" And then because I had nothing, I said that will never happen to me again.
Right.
Never happen to me again. Next time I drop a song, oh, here's 100 more, here's 30 more. So now to this day, I can go on my email and it's just flooded.
Song after song after
Yeah,
song.
so all of me is that batch of the 30 we loved. And also we have a plan moving forward for my music to drop. That's why we're dropping all the music videos. I have an actual structured plan in motion.
It's really
So
good, man. And how do you think, amidst everything you've been through, how do you feel that your songs have grown in that respect, and anything, whether it comes to production, like just making more decisions and taking on that agency, that ownership.
well, I like to think that I've grown just through all aspects, from the songwriting to the singing down to the production of the music. My producer Rich, he's an incredible producer, and he is. I'm very lucky that he loves to do everything live, so I get to play my guitar. He brings in the live band. We all do all these live tracks, and he plays himself. He Everything we do, he'll pull up his keyboard and pull in the sounds and make all the synths and play everything. It's all creative. Before I was just working producers, getting tracks and writing to tracks. Now I'm creating the music from the ground up to the very top, and that's growth for me. My songwriting, I feel like I've gotten better at, and it's just I'm very now lucky to have a budget behind my music videos too, which is production. I get better visuals, better quality, because people are tough, man. People like to see good shit, So like when you post your music videos, it better be eye candy, So now that I'm able to do that, it's just a blessing and that's growth. But it's now mine. It's now I am not just taking a track and I'm not just writing to somebody else's beat. I'm not just doing this. It's my song, and whoever I created with is ours. We created from the ground up, and that's more ownership. That's like I own that. I put my name behind this song and put it out in the world.
Hmm. And you definitely have your own stamp on the music. I heard the track you wrote for Bieber. I heard Black and White, and I hear your newest song, All on Me, and it's all you, man. And I'm not just saying that just to like ingratiate or anything. I definitely feel that you have something unique, especially because all
Appreciate that.
this conventional pop music can wear thin on you. It's the same
And
4/4 kind of dancing beat, but you like to change it up.
you have to. You got to try. You got to try.
Especially because pop music is incredibly fickle. You can have a song that's like at the top like one week, and then the next no one's ever heard of you anymore.
Of course, you can have said it more right. That's 100%. So that really means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
And I definitely like, and you really try to experiment. You don't just do the conventional kind of 4/4 beat that everyone's expecting.
No,
You
you
love
can.
you love putting in that guitar because
Um,
like all the pop fans are angered by guitars because they're like, what guitars? we haven't
That's
heard
why.
that in
That's
20
why.
years.
That's why I don't get just the. That's why Spotify. They're like, oh, we're not going to give you the pop. We'll give you the alternative. Here you go, alternative rock.
You can, yeah, you can, but you can cross over definitely. But
Oh, I'm
it's
going to. I'm going to make them real mad. But that's for all of us real musicians who like to hear real music. I'm
yeah,
doing it
yeah.
for us.
It's really good, and I definitely hear it, man.
Thank
It's
you.
you definitely have your own style. You're gonna show this fickle pop machine who's boss.
That means so much. That's the nice thing. Thank you very much.
And then like just like processing all of this, what have you learned about yourself, not only as a musician, but as a person?
I've learned that I, I'm much more accepting now to new ideas. To open to working with people, to collaborating, open to writing. I like to think that I'm a lot more accepting of failure now too. Not just the good things. I'm a lot more accepting to putting a song out and someone saying, "Hey, great song, but this is not for me." Great voice. You got to understand if someone has an opinion, it comes from a place of whether or not it comes from showing they care. You only have an opinion if you care. Now the job is on us to find out if they care for the right reasons or not. But they do care.
It's really good, and it's a very like good lesson to learn, not because of your age and your circumstances, but hey, I'm 32. I find myself being equally impressionable by hearing different sounds, regardless if it's like gore grind, everything from noise rock to pop music. And I used to, believe me, I used to like in 2005 when I was 14, I completely like lost track. I'm like, I'm just gonna listen to like all these like underground obscure bands because that's where I feel most comfortable. But the moment I became like a music journalist, I began to meet so many wonderful people such as yourself who do truly care about the music and feel like they have something to offer that's uniquely them.
Wow. That's you just took my brother. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And you know, we need more people like you doing this who do it for the real rawness of like meeting us one on one and getting to show like we as an artist, the biggest thing I can want is to show the world who I am and to say, hey, look, this is the real me. And it's not just I'm not just I've got I'm a nice guy, and you give us the platform to do that, and you make it very easy for us to do that. Like you're very good at what you do, and I appreciate it, and I can't speak for other artists, but I'm sure we all do, and I especially do. So thank you in return.
And then, lastly, anything you'd like to say to your fans?
I would. Um, summer tour is coming up for 2024. I'm going on a college tour. All that information will be on my Instagram. You can find me at Liam Horne. That's on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. And my next song, Cars with Leather, will be dropping in 2 weeks.
All right. Tell everyone that song again.
Cars with Leather.
Yeah. All right, man.
And I,
This was
I really appreciate you having me again, too.
That's awesome, man.